We all gain a kilo or 3 during the holidays. But what you might not be aware of is that 50% of that weight tends to stick with you, having a compounding effect with every year that goes by. For example, let's say that you gain 4 pounds during these holidays. Chances are that 2 of those are going to stay with you during the rest of the year. Multiply that by 10 years and you can paint a pretty good picture of what your future looks like. On the other hand, it's the end of the year, during which I'm guessing that you've worked your ass off. You want to let go a bit, kick back with your family, eat carefree during those Christmas and New Year's Eve dinners, have some whiskey with your buddies, and overall loosen up. So the question is, how do you have fun and not get fat during the holiday season? The truth is that you can live your life in a way where you can enjoy these periods without feeling restricted, but first we have to start with some uncomfortable truths. If you're afraid of gaining weight while entering the holiday season, number one, I'm guessing you are already carrying at least 10 to 20 extra pounds, which is what is making you self-conscious about all this. And number two, you haven't figured out a way to stay consistent with both your nutrition and training during the rest of the year. Because once you have those two sorted out and you can enter the holidays with a healthy metabolism and a strong and lean body, honestly, you can enjoy all the upcoming tasty meals and treats, stress and guilt-free. Hell, the holidays can even be an opportunity for you to gain some muscle, spike your metabolism even more, and drop that little addition of fat effortlessly come February, which is what both I and a lot of my trainees do.
What? I'm poking.
So how about this year, instead of trying to restrict yourself during these holidays, you focus rather on installing new habits that you can see yourself practicing the coming year. The problem with New Year's Eve resolutions is that they are mainly driven by too much emotion rather than logic, sustainability, and practicality. And sure, all the fireworks and alcohol and the overall vibe of change that is in the air during those first days of the year might motivate you to start strong right out of the gate. Eventually though, you just end up crumbling under the weight of huge and unrealistic goals as life gets back to normal. This is why close to 25% of your resolutions fail after a single week, close to 50% of them fail till February, and around 80% of them fail overall. It is the classic all or nothing mindset that everyone falls a victim of and gyms are happy to capitalize on. So if you want to be smart about it this year and you want to focus on changes that will stick, here are the top 3 biggest bang for buck habits that you can start working on right now. As head coach John here at Body with Muscle likes to say, the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, states that 80% of your results comes from just 20% of your efforts. And if there's one foundational fitness habit that can deliver that max return of investment, it is without a doubt strength training. Just 2 hours of strength training per week is the sweet spot of effort that can give you maximum returns without overwhelming your weekly schedule. Either we're talking about boosting your metabolism and building muscle while dropping fat, gaining more confidence and arming yourself with more mental resilience, boosting your energy levels, strengthening your joints and preventing injuries, reversing aging and body decay that starts as early as 30, and overall reducing all health risks. Not to mention how if you practice our 4 laws of no BS hypertrophy calisthenics religiously, your total weekly training time can even drop as down as 90 minutes per week and you can still see great results. For those new here, I covered these laws in the previous video, but you can also find them in our new free training program, Rugged 90, which is perfect for getting started with a workout routine in the holidays, since all you need to commit to is a total of 90 minutes of training per week and a set of gymnastic rings. So if you want to drop that dad bod, if you want to build effortless consistency, have a lot more energy and start working on carving that rugged, strong and lean dad physique, you can get it absolutely free. Link in the top and comment below. We all know nowadays that sitting has become the new smoking. This is why besides getting 2 hours of strength training per week, you also want to make sure that you're getting enough steps in, especially if your job is sedentary, with all the latest research showing that even just 8,000 steps per day are enough to stay healthy, which is why this is our starter goal with anybody new joining our online coaching program, the Dadbot Demolition Project. For most guys, this means an extra hour of walking every day, which added with the rest of your day's steps will typically account up to 8 or even 10,000 steps. You can also get your steps in any other way you prefer, with some of our favorite practices being, front loading a big chunk of them in the morning and next microdosing them across the rest of your day. Lastly, keep in mind that walking is not the only way to get steps in, since any activity can support this goal and can be translated into steps. Either we're talking about jogging, cycling, swimming, playing pickleball with your kids, or any activity as long as you enjoy it to an extent at least, and it can fit in your weekly schedule. Personally, I've become a big fan of running lately, which is a great way to increase the impact of your steps without having to walk for hours. And one of my favorite workouts, especially in the weekends when I have some extra time, is walking with my weighted vest to a calisthenics park that is 30 minutes away from me, getting a weighted bodyweight workout in, and walking back home. I also think it's great prep work for when the twins arrive. The reason you can't lose weight is not because you're not doing things such as cold plunges or red light therapy or microdosing TRT or eating a ton of supplements that all the top fitness podcasts keep throwing at your face just because they're getting a 30% commission from them. It's simply because you have created a set of habits that keep you mostly immobile and overfed. Therefore, once training and movement are checked off your list, you need to figure out a way to keep track of your food intake. Unless you know what and how much you eat on a daily basis, there's no way you can make real sustainable change when it comes to weight loss and improving body composition. There are even studies proving this, where even nutritionists tend to underestimate their caloric intake up to 20% when they don't have a system to measure what they eat. This isn't something that you have to do for the rest of your life, but if you want to change your body, it is something that you'll have to stick to until you reach your goal, and most importantly, until you learn how to maintain it. Personally, in our online coaching, we use a very simple system called hand portioning, which requires no calorie tracker and only takes 2 weeks to practice to get accustomed to. Now, I would never track my portions during holiday meals with friends and family, and neither do I recommend my trainees do that. But if you're looking for a practice to minimize the damage, to minimize the fat gain, and be a little bit more proactive during the days around those meals, then I highly recommend that you give our intermittent carb fasting method a try. In a nutshell, what that entails is postponing your carbs until dinner, or whichever is your main meal of the day, by focusing on protein-rich foods that are as lean as possible. This way, not only do you eat more protein and boost muscle growth and recovery, and not only do you eat less calories without feeling starved, since protein is the most satiating macronutrient, but you also boost your metabolism, since protein has the highest thermic effect, meaning just to break it down, just to digest it, you burn more calories. Once again, the idea here is not to make huge changes to your diet right now. Rather, you want to figure out habits that you can keep incorporating during the rest of the year. By the way, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching for busy dads and you want to transform from dadbot to a rugged, strong and lean father figure, check out our online coaching program, the Dadbot Demolition Project. This is where we cover everything from custom training and nutrition to mindset. So if you want to try something different this year, if you need that extra accountability of a coach and even a community of like-minded people, and if you're ready to put in serious work and make a change that sticks, all you have to do is fill in the application below. We'll book a free consultation call to see if this is a good fit for both of us, and we'll take it from there. Once you reach your goal and you make the right habits part of your lifestyle, you can finally put training and nutrition on cruise control and enjoy not only your holidays, but also the rest of your life. For this to happen though, the biggest change that you have to commit to and focus on every single day in the beginning is changing the narrative that's going on between your ears. You need to stop telling yourself that you are too weak, old, fat, busy, or whatever is your excuse, and realize that if you want to feel good and be able to serve the other people around you, you first of all have to put your own self first, especially when it comes to your own health. You need to acknowledge that things such as piling on extra servings at dinner until you feel stuffed, or numbing yourself with alcohol or Snicker bars every evening before going to bed are not making your life any better. And to make a long story short, you have to drop your 2024 identity and replace it with a new one, changing yourself one habit at a time, starting today. That was all for today. Once again, if you're a busy dad looking to build muscle without joining the gym, if you want to get your diet in order to drop fat and improve your overall health, all that incorporated in a realistic plan that respects your demanding lifestyle, then you might be interested in our online coaching program, the Dad Bod Demolition Project. So if you're tired of your current situation and you want to make a change fast, fill in the application below and we'll get in touch. If you have any other question, make sure you leave it below. I do my best to get back to every single one of you. And until next time, keep on training.